Welcome to the Dose of Good podcast, where we celebrate good people and organizations working to make the world a better place. It can be easy to get caught up in the bad things going on in the world and forget about the good happening all around us each and every day. I'm your host, Erin, and I want to share these stories with you and give them the attention they deserve. I hope this podcast educates and inspires you and maybe even motivates you to share a dose of good in your community. Now let's get into today's episode. Today's episode is jam-packed. It features Catholic Charities of New Hampshire, and I speak to Michael McDonough, who is the Executive Director of Marketing and Communications. And you may have heard of Catholic Charities, you may be somewhat familiar with them, but I know I had heard of them, but I had no idea all of what they were doing, all that is under their umbrella. Organizations you might be very familiar with that I had no idea were under Catholic Charities New Hampshire. So I hope that you enjoyed today's episode and getting to learn more about them and the incredible work that they are doing across the state to help all generations and all different demographics and types of needs for people. Today I'm here with Michael McDonough, the Executive Director of Marketing and Communications at Catholic Charities New Hampshire. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Erin, thank you for having me. Big fan of the podcast and really excited to have a discussion here.
All right, thank you. I recently learned that Catholic Charities covers many areas in helping the people of New Hampshire. I didn't realize how many things fall under your umbrella.
Yeah.
To start, could you tell me a little about its history and the mission?
Yes, I'll just boil it down. We're a very complex organization involved with a lot of issues that are impacting New Hampshire. But really the core of our mission is to help people who may be experiencing some form of hardship or crisis, to help them move toward stability, to build more stable and self-sufficient lives. And that can be done through many different ways. Everybody comes to us with a unique struggle, whether it's someone experiencing mental health issues or challenges, someone who is unable to access stable housing, folks who are homeless, those who are dealing with social isolation, and really a lot of other issues that adversely impact the communities across New Hampshire. That's one of the strengths of the organization, is that we do so much. I mean, the reality is our programs touch approximately 1 in 10 individuals across New Hampshire. So if you have a neighbor, if you have a friend, chances are at least one of them are really impacted by an issue that we're helping them with. Mm-hmm. So our reach and our relevancy is really extensive across the state. But we serve individuals and families of all backgrounds and faith across New Hampshire. Our roots date back to 1945. So we're celebrating our 81st anniversary this year. We just had our 80th anniversary last year. But really, we started in 1945 as an organization with just 3 staff members. And our focus back then was caring for the elderly and adoption services. And now today, that mission has obviously grown to align with the emerging needs of folks across New Hampshire. Today, we are one of the largest social services organizations in the state. We have about 1,000 employees with multiple locations of all corners of New Hampshire. And as I kind of touched on a little bit before, we address individuals and families who are struggling with issues that are most impacting our communities. So hunger, poverty, financial despair, mental health, homelessness, access to affordable housing, which we know is a huge issue today, unsafe environments for children, and social isolation. Everyone comes to us with a unique set of circumstances. It could be a family struggling to make ends meet and afford essential basic life needs. It could be a mother or a baby with no place to call home. It could be a senior who lives alone that can't access enough food or has no social interaction. Mm-hmm. It could be a veteran who are held back by traumatic pasts, or someone who is dealing with mental health challenges. There are people oftentimes they have nowhere else to turn. You know, the issues they face are to no fault of their own. You know, they didn't sign up for what they're dealing with. So no matter who they are, it's our mission really to address their needs through compassion and understanding. And we really want to promote the dignity of every person who comes to us. There's also a common misconception out there that, yes, our name is Catholic Charities, and yes, we are so proud of our mission that is rooted in the Catholic faith and the ministry of Jesus. But we serve anyone in need. Okay, we don't. When someone comes in, we don't ask their religion, we don't ask for their faith. Okay, we understand that they're experiencing an issue, and it's our goal to help meet them where they're at and help guide them to the life that they frankly deserve.
I'm glad you brought that up because I could see how people could have that misconception, like Catholic Charities. Oh, I am not a part of the Catholic faith, so they can't help me kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it's important that people understand that.
Yeah,
so.
and that's the one thing that we really do want to stress.
Yeah.
There is a lot of people who come to us for help, and they're kind of nervous. Well, I'm not Catholic, but
Yeah.
really, we're here to promote the common good of all.
Yeah.
And that's a tenet of what we call Catholic social teaching, which is really to promote the dignity of every person who comes to us. Okay.
And then, as you've mentioned and shared all the different areas you're covering, all the different people you're helping, but let's start with one of the really big ones, which is the New Hampshire Food Bank, because
Absolutely.
I personally have heard of New Hampshire Food Bank, and I know they do so much to help across the state. So, can you tell us about the work that they're doing to address food insecurity?
Absolutely. I would just say that when a lot of people know the name Catholic Charities, but they don't know the extent of what
yeah.
we're involved with, and the New Hampshire Food Bank is a program of ours. At its most basic level, they exist to make sure that people, they don't go hungry. About 1 in 9 people here in New Hampshire, including 1 in 7 children, they're facing food insecurity. So it's a huge issue. And what food insecurity means is in often cases, they don't know where their next meal can come from. They don't have steady access to food like many people do. So it's really a huge issue. The food bank is actually the only food bank in New Hampshire, and it really serves as a hub of a really large network. Each year they distribute millions of pounds of food to over 400 partner agencies throughout the state. So food pantries, shelters, community programs, those are the ones getting food directly into the hands of families and individuals in need, but they get the food from the food bank. Last year, we had about 19.7 million pounds of food distributed to households in need across New Hampshire. They're not only about food distribution, that's an important point. They're also working to address long-term solutions for hunger, things like culinary job training programs. They do mobile food pantries on a regular basis to underserved communities across New Hampshire. And really, they have other initiatives that help address the root causes of hunger. It's really incredible, the program itself. It actually started in 1984. It operated in a warehouse in Manchester that was 600 square feet.
Oh, my goodness.
Today, they're in a much larger facility,
Yeah.
10 times larger, 60,000. Actually, at the math wrong, 100 times larger, 60,000 square foot operation serving the entire state. So it's
Wow.
really, it's a supply chain, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
incredible to see the work that they're doing. Huge effort. The team is awesome. Our executive director, Elsie Cipriani, does incredible work there, and her team just do a fabulous job. Obviously, hunger is a top issue last year with the loss of SNAP benefits. The team sprung into action and really responded in a way that helped ensure that families were not facing food insecurity.
Yeah.
So, tremendous program.
Now, the next one I want to talk about is helping veterans, and that is Liberty House. So what is Liberty House for those people who may not know, and what is offered there?
Absolutely. So Liberty House is an amazing program based out of Manchester, but they do serve veterans across the state. Interesting program. We acquired them in 2019.
Okay.
And what they do is they provide a wide range of services for veterans who serve our country, but they may be having difficulties transitioning back into civilian life. Because of that, they may be dealing with things like post-traumatic stress, substance use issues, mental health struggles, difficulty finding employment. So that's an issue a lot of people don't realize, that they really made sacrifices to serve to our country.
Right.
But coming back home, all right, they bring a lot of invisible wounds. They bring other challenges with them. It's so hard to understand that and know that that's a very vulnerable population.
Right.
So what Liberty House does is a couple levels of support we have. At the core really is our sober transitional living program, and that is located in Manchester. We serve over 20 veterans there, and these are veterans who come, they're facing homelessness. They really have nowhere else to go. They're coming from the streets. They need to really rebuild their lives. So we work with them through a 4-step model that's really unique to Liberty House. That helps them move back towards independence and the life that they deserve. We help with recovery, wellness, so connecting them with doctors and medical care as needed, and gaining meaningful employment. So we help them get jobs. We guide them there. And what's really powerful is the transformation. You know, veterans come to us feeling defeated. They're unsure of themselves, their future, but they really leave with not only a place to go and live, but confidence, stability, and a clear path forward. Liberty House also has a community pantry. It does support the veterans, but there are hundreds of other veterans within the community in New Hampshire who may have some form of stable housing, but they still need assistance on a daily basis. So they need things like food, clothing, and other basic needs to help get by. We also provide things like camping gear for veterans who may be camping or homeless that way. So really addressing the needs, the wide range of needs for veterans who are coming back from service and helping us. The impact is really tremendous. Last year, the Transitional Living Program provided over 5,300 nights of shelter for 37 veterans, which is absolutely amazing. The pantry I mentioned distributed over 50,000 items of food, clothing, and other basic needs to veterans in the community. And we had 20 veterans who moved out, or 20 residents who moved out of the program that had jobs versus only 6 of them when they moved in had jobs. So we helped them, as I mentioned, not only find employment, not only find independent housing, but really get their sense of dignity and self-worth back through the process.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. You also brought on the New Generation program a few years ago. So who do they help, and can you tell us a little more about
Yeah,
them?
you know, we brought on a lot of programs, first and
Yeah.
foremost. I've been with Catholic Charities for just about 8.5 years now, and through that time we brought on at least 5 new programs. And that really shows how Catholic Charities is adapting and aligning to the social services needs across New Hampshire. And New Generation is a great example of that. We hear about homelessness a lot. And this was actually our first shelter that we have. So New Generation, it's based out in Greenland. We acquired the nonprofit in 2021. And they serve moms and children who are facing homelessness. They have nowhere to go. And it's really a tremendous program. We provide them with, first and foremost, a safe, supportive shelter where they can live as they get back on their feet and rebuild stability. We also we work with them pretty well on intensive case management. So really helping them get from that point where they are in life when they come in to moving out. And part of that process involves helping them find a job, helping them secure childcare for their children, helping them build financial stability. Many of them have never opened a bank account, right? So we help them do that. And ultimately transition to safe and stable housing. But the support really doesn't stop there. Just because they move into stable housing, the incidence of recurrence of homelessness is still there. Like they're not out of the woods per se, right? So we help them once they move into housing. We stay connected with them. We keep delivering case management to them. We call that stabilization services. And it's really helping them maintain independence, make sure that they're on strong financial footing to maintain their employment, maintain their finances, and they can maintain that housing too. So it's really special. When people think of a shelter, it's like point A to point B. Point A is when they come in. Point B is when they move out. We go beyond that point B because this is a wider issue, and we help address the challenges in their lives that led them to homelessness in the first place. So it's really a transformational program. Since we've acquired the program, we've spoken with many residents. We have the chance to meet with them who've been living out of shelter for several years now, and they're doing awesome. It just really speaks to just how amazing the program is. Last year, we provided about 4,700 collective nights of shelter, and that included 44 children. So it's a real issue in our community.
Yeah.
And one of the most powerful things about the program is a lot of the staff went through the program,
Oh, wow.
including our executive director. I'll call it her name because she's awesome, Brandy Rickaby. She is a former resident.
Okay.
She's someone who was homeless. She's someone who is experiencing the issues that these mothers are. She moved into housing. She stayed connected with New Generation. She became a case manager there. And then last year, she became executive director, which just speaks to how special the program is. It's one of those programs that I love every time I have the ability to go out there and visit because you can see it.
Yeah.
Show me, don't tell me, right? And
Right.
I can talk about the program, but seeing it, I definitely encourage anyone in the Seacoast area to check it out, go on the website, because it really is a program that is doing wonders for moms and children here in New Hampshire.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And I love the fact that even when they've moved on to their own housing, there's that follow through to really help them be self-sufficient and independent and all of that.
Right.
So,
Not a lot of people think about that, right?
Yeah.
They need that continued support. So even moms who have moved out of shelter 2-3 years ago, maybe, right? They're still coming back to get assistance, to
Yeah.
get things like diapers and wipes and food and other essentials, because they're not out of the woods.
Right.
Homelessness is a very long it's a long road for them, right?
Yeah.
And sadly, there are instances where people go back to it. I mean, chronic homelessness is a huge thing, and our goal is to address that,
Yeah.
each person by each person. So
Yeah,
really
yeah.
powerful.
That's great. We touched on you're helping mothers and children, but families are also included in an array of your services. Can you tell us about what is Our Place and how do they support families?
Yeah, so Our Place is one of our longstanding programs. It's been with us since 1982. It was actually formulated with a partnership with Catholic Medical Center.
Okay.
And it was originally focused on supporting pregnant and parenting teens. So teens who were pregnant and didn't have a lot of support in their lives. Over time, that has evolved to help meet a broader need. We really focus now on education support for parents who may not have the knowledge, the support they need to welcome a child into the world. Today, that support shows up in a few key ways. Our services start with one-on-one parenting education. And that's where parents can get personalized guidance on things like prenatal care, newborn health, early childhood development, key things that parents or expecting parents may not know about.
Sure.
They need that guidance there. We also have pregnancy and parenting classes. We cover everything from newborn care to toddler development to positive parenting, and car safety checks. You wouldn't imagine how many times an infant or a baby is put in a car seat incorrectly, which is a huge safety hazard. So we have in-person appointments with families to ensure their car seats are properly installed. It's a big effort, as you probably know, to get your child in there and really help parents understand the vital importance of transportation safety. So at the end of the day, it's really Our Place is giving parents the tools and the confidence that they need so their children can grow up in safe, healthy, and nurturing environments.
Yeah, yeah. And just for people's understanding, is Our Place open to any parent? Do you have to be of a certain income to take those classes, or?
No, so they're located in Manchester. All they
Okay.
have to do is just reach out to us, and we can help guide them for what they need.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay, great.
absolutely.
How about some of your services for seniors? Can you tell us about some of
Yeah,
those?
so as I mentioned, when we were founded in 1945, one of our two core focus areas was on seniors. And this is a really important issue for us, especially today, because New Hampshire is the second oldest state in the country.
Wow. I knew it was up there. I didn't know it was
Yeah,
the second.
yeah,
so,
behind Maine,
gosh,
actually.
wow.
So by 2035, 27% of New Hampshire's population will be over the age of 65.
Wow.
So it is an aging state, which we're proud of course. But
Yeah.
that means a lot more seniors or older adults will need support. So today, that support we provide shows up in several different ways. First is our healthcare services. So we own and operate 7 skilled nursing facilities across the state, as well as 4 independent living communities and assisted living communities that serve collectively more than 1,000 seniors and older adults annually. And within those communities, we provide everything like long-term care for folks who can't live at home, but they need that intensive care. Short-term rehab for someone who may be transitioning from surgery in the hospital to going back home. We provide that middle point for them to make sure they can return home in a way that is safe and efficient. We provide memory care for individuals and other forms of support. We have communities in Manchester, Wyndham, Laconia, Berlin, and Dover. So it's really across the state. We've been doing this for so long. Obviously, we are promoting the dignity of human beings. And we know human beings want to stay at home as long as they can. And we respect that. So we have 2 programs that these are 2 of the programs that we brought into the Catholic Charities family over the past couple of years. The first being caregivers. And this is a really special program that addresses the growing needs of financial hardship, food insecurity, and isolation among seniors. So with financial hardship, we have thousands of seniors here in the state who either live on fixed incomes or they live in poverty, and they really can't afford basic life needs. They're making really difficult decisions, like they're choosing between, A, do I use the limited money I have to pay for food, or B, do I use it to afford my prescriptions or medications that I need to stay healthy, right? So making those really hard choices that no one should make, that is really happening there today. Food insecurity, more than 10,000 older adults across New Hampshire are at risk of hunger. Social isolation. This is something a lot of people don't realize the scope and the extent of. Approximately 1 in 4 seniors in New Hampshire live alone. And New Hampshire ranks the 2nd in the nation also for social isolation, which is a huge thing. So, and social isolation is more than just being lonely or being alone. It has emotional, it has real physical risk factors. There was a study that was pretty interesting, but it really shows the scope of this issue from the U.S. Surgeon General. They said the mortality impact of being socially disconnected, it's similar to that caused by smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day.
Wow.
And even greater than obesity and physical inactivity. So
that's serious.
It is very serious. So when you live alone, it's not just feeling like there's no one out there. It does carry some severe risk factors that go with it. So Caregivers addresses these issues with homebound and disabled seniors within Greater Manchester and Greater Nashua specifically. So what we do is we connect them with a network of volunteering. So people who have donated their time, their hearts to help seniors. They provide free transportation to medical appointments. So it could be something as a PCP appointment. It could be something as someone who is being diagnosed with cancer. They need to get their oncology appointments. So getting them where they need to go, because otherwise they would not have access to it.
Right.
And this is free for them, which is key. We also have, for those who may be facing food insecurity, we have monthly food deliveries. So it's last year we had about over 126,000 pounds of food distributed to these seniors within Greater Manchester and Greater Nashua. We also have regular check-ins, so emotional support calls. Many of these seniors, no one comes by to visit. They don't have family nearby. They don't have friends.
Yeah.
They depend on these social interactions from our volunteers. And a really cool stat that we do is 82% of caregivers' clients indicated that they're better able to afford things like medicine, prescriptions, utility, and other basic needs because of caregivers. So they no longer, since they get the food deliveries, they don't have to make that difficult decision between food and the medicine they need.
Right.
They can get those prescriptions and be fed as well. So it's really a powerful program as well. Another one we had that we brought in a few years ago is Monadnock at Home. Similar in some ways, but different in other ways. And they support seniors in the Monadnock region, which is very rural. So not a lot of access to things like healthcare, to food and whatnot. So they're living independently, but they need some assistance building those community connections and then living at home. It is a membership model that connects them to things like service providers that are qualified. So think back in the day, Angie's List.
Yes.
Because the sad reality is a lot of older adults can get manipulated by service providers. And we help vet them to make sure that whoever's showing up at their door is going to give them what they need, right? We provide social opportunities for them, so monthly coffee gatherings so they can interact with people. Because, again, a lot of these folks, they live in rural areas. They don't have that social interaction.
Right, yeah.
I just talked about how important social interaction is. So we help them that way, but enables them to really stay in their homes and thrive in their communities, which is a tremendous program. So when you look at it all together, it's really helping seniors be where they want to be. In homes. They've been there for years. They have precious memories. They don't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
So these services allow them to maintain their independence and stay in those homes with dignity as they age.
You've talked about you're bringing on a bunch of new stuff, and you recently opened the first affordable housing project. So can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, we keep doing new things, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It really speaks to our mission, how we continue to evolve. We all know affordable housing is a huge issue here in New Hampshire. It is so hard to get for so many people to find the housing that they need. They're being priced out, right?
Exactly.
So finding housing that's safe, quality housing, right, and affordable price is more difficult than ever.
Right.
So a few years ago, we made the deliberate investment really to explore how we can leverage our 80 plus years of working in New Hampshire, including most of that time with our senior living communities. So we've been doing housing for a very long time, but not really affordable housing. So we made the investment to figure out how can we play a role in this and help. And this past January, we opened up phase one of our first affordable workforce housing project, and that's Vos Farm Residences in Peterborough. That's 64 new 1-2-bedroom apartments to market. So they're for individuals and families who are earning about 50 to 60% of the area median income. So normally these are folks who would not be able to access housing.
Sure.
And we have a couple of market rate units as well to balance things out. But it's a beautiful modern property. If I lived out there, I would love to live there, but it's one of the places that's new.
Sure.
But it's not just living in a place that's nice. It's living in a place that you can build your life.
Right.
And that's something, if we didn't have a project like this, that all these individuals who live there now probably wouldn't have any other options. So it's really cool to see. Just the beginning of this initiative, too. We are exploring other areas throughout the state, and we'll hopefully announce a couple more coming up pretty soon in the next few months. So really excited about that.
Yeah, that's great. Great. Yeah, it's definitely a issue across the country, but especially in the Northeast, people being able to find affordable housing and what people once thought was affordable is just not even existent, as you said.
Absolutely.
So,
So we're happy to play a role there.
Yeah. And are there any other programs that we may have missed that you'd like to talk about? Yeah,
there are a few others that I'll just briefly touch on here. The first being our community services program. I mentioned that we help people who live in, they're facing poverty, financial hardship, and this is where we support them. We have offices throughout the state where we provide case management and community referrals. So it could be someone who comes in saying, I don't have enough rent to pay next month. I'm going to get evicted. Please help me. It could be someone who, families with kids who they can't afford the electricity bill. They got the disconnect notice. They're in panic mode. What do I do? My kids can't do homework in the dark, right? I can't lose the food in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Real life issues that are happening to people, they come to us and we assist them through our community services program. Last year, we served just about 4,500 individuals and families across the state. That's not just a number. The striking number with that is that is a 23% increase over last year, over the previous year, rather. So people today really are struggling. That is more than we saw at the height of the COVID pandemic when everyone was in panic mode, right?
Yeah.
A lot of families fell in hard times. So what we may not realize is that people still are struggling. So this program is vital in helping those who just can't get by on a daily basis.
Yeah.
The goal with them, and really the cool thing about the program is we help address urgent needs, but also kind of dig in more. We don't just put the Band-Aid on for the quick fix, right? Because if you do that, that issue may pop up again down the road.
Right.
We work with them to address the root causes. What is causing the challenge? Like, why is it that they're experiencing financial hardship? Is it they're not getting benefits from the community? Is it because they may not have a budget?
Right.
They may not have a bank account, things like that.
Yeah.
So really getting under the hood, if you will, to look at their lives and say, how can we do things differently? How can we help guide you to a better place where there's more stability and
Right.
you don't have to run into these issues?
Yeah.
Yeah. We also have our mental health counseling program. We know that mental health is a huge issue. Accessibility is a huge issue here in New Hampshire. So we help make that a little bit easier for folks. So we offer counseling both in person and online to help individuals who may be dealing with anxiety, life changes, trauma, and any other mental health issues in their lives. And one of the cool things about it is not only is mental health counseling, it's hard to access it. It can be expensive for folks.
Right.
So we order through the support of our amazing donors. We're able to offer what we call a sliding scale, fee scale. So the cost for people who may not be able to afford it is not a barrier for them.
Okay,
We also
yeah.
do accept major insurances as well. We also have our immigration legal services program, and we provide legal services and advocacy for individuals who are eligible under federal law to apply for immigration benefits. That's a key point, that these are folks who, according to federal law, are able to provide for benefits. So we help provide those services for them. We help with things like visas, adjustment of status, naturalization, family reunification. Immigration is obviously a complex process, but these are people who really are driven to become productive U.S. citizens, and it's our role to help them through that process. But I will say we only serve those who are eligible under federal law to receive such services.
Sure.
The last program that we have is an amazing program, St. Charles School up in Rochester. It is a special education school that provides academic, social, emotional, and behavioral support to children who may not be able to flourish in a traditional school setting. They may have significant behavioral, emotional challenges. So we help them build the confidence to ultimately succeed and transition back into normal classroom environments and flourish, frankly. We have about 21 students that are there right now, and it's just a really amazing program. St. Charles is a former orphanage back in the day.
Okay.
And then we move it to a day program, and now it's a school. It's a really tremendous. It's one of those things that you got to see in order to understand how special it is. But kids come in, they are just experiencing so many issues, and we help them really heal from them and get to a point where we have several students who transition back to high school within their school districts.
Oh, wow.
So it's really special to see the transformation going on there as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty much speechless at the moment just because you are not only touching every single generation in the state,
Right.
but you're just helping so many people in so many different areas. And I'm just so thankful for nonprofits like yours and all the different ones across the state, because when I hear about the work that you're doing, I just think, if you weren't here, what would be happening to these people?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's also the whole nonprofit ecosystem of New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Everyone plays a role.
Right.
There's no one nonprofit that solves everything.
Exactly.
At Catholic Charities, our mission it's a wide-reaching one, right?
Yeah.
We are fortunate to have the history, the staff, the experience to address so many issues that people are facing. And oftentimes we have people who are dealing with multiple issues,
right.
multiple challenges, multiple barriers in their lives, and we're able to help them through different programs, which is tremendous.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And what sorts, especially since you have such an array of nonprofits under you, what sorts of volunteer opportunities are available, whether that be volunteering for Catholic Charities directly
Yep.
or with other organizations?
So, since we are a very complex organization, the good news is we have many volunteer
Yeah.
opportunities, and there's something really for everyone of all ages. So, we offer a wide range of opportunities across the state. The biggest thing for us is flexibility. So, whether someone has an hour a week, an hour a month, there's always an opportunity for someone to get involved based upon their own schedules. A lot of the opportunities center around working directly with people. So I mentioned our caregivers, our Monadnock at Home programs. A lot of those, and largely in part, are driven by our volunteers. So they help seniors stay independent, giving rides to medical appointments, delivering groceries, simply picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, how are you doing?" Being that lifeline for them who don't talk to anybody, they don't see anybody.
Right.
That volunteer can just make such an impactful difference by spending 10, 15 minutes on the phone with them, making calls. We also have volunteer opportunities at New Generation. They help with childcare. So if a mom is going to a job interview, they may watch the kids at the shelter, which is really cool. Huge, because without that childcare, they wouldn't be able to get the job.
Exactly.
They wouldn't be able to have an income. They would be
Right.
able to ultimately move out. So it's just that one simple act of kindness that can create a ripple effect.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
For those moms in the future. Liberty House, we have select volunteer opportunities to help with the pantry, as I mentioned, organizing items. They're always in need of donations to the pantry as well. Quick side note, but important one there. Our senior living communities, I mentioned we're across the state. Love our volunteers there. They bring joy to residents, and the residents bring joy to the volunteers. So we have things like resident visits, activities. We have so much going on in the homes. Volunteers can help with that, and then really helping with events that may be going on within our communities. You don't need to have a certain skill set, right? Anybody can come to the table. Just reach out to us. We have our volunteer page on the website. Happy to help. We're across the state, so there's an opportunity for everyone. And I really encourage folks. We love our volunteers. The gift of time is a precious thing.
Sure.
We know that, and we're really grateful for so many individuals who help our programs be the way they are, and in turn help so many people in the process.
Yeah, definitely. And do you have any events, fundraisers throughout the year that you would like people to know about?
Absolutely. We have a mix of events throughout the year that help raise support and fund the programs that I just mentioned. At Catholic Charities, our largest signature event of the year is our Mardi Gras Gala in February each year to time out with it's usually the Saturday before Fat Tuesday.
Okay.
And Mardi Gras is up and running in New Orleans. We bring a flavor of that right here to Manchester. So brings together hundreds of supporters, partners, community leaders. It's a really high energy, fun party atmosphere night. Food, Cajun food. If you haven't had Cajun
nice.
food, it's awesome. Entertainment, storytelling. It's really a big celebration of hope and what can happen when people come together and provide assistance for so many people. Next year, that's February 6th, a little bit earlier next year at the DoubleTree in Manchester. We have Liberty House. We have our Liberty House couple events there. We have Liberty House Golf Tournament, which if you like golf, you want to support veterans, great opportunity there. That's June 26th, next month at the Stonebridge Country Club, and that's held each June as well. We have our Veterans Day breakfast in November to honor, recognize those who serve. It's a really special morning at La Belle Winery and Dairy. And this year it's Saturday, November 7th. So join us if you can there. New Generation has Mulligans for Mom. That's also for golfers. Very creative name, Mulligans for Mom.
Yeah.
It's focused on supporting the moms and children at New Generation. It's September 21st at Breakfast Hill Golf Club in Portsmouth. And the New Hampshire Food Bank, their big event is Steel Chef. It's one of their premier events. Local chefs, I think 3 or 4, compete in a culinary cook-off.
Oh, that's fun.
High energy. Oh, yeah. It's like reality TV right in front of you. And it's hosted by nationally renowned chefs every year. The past few years was Chef Robert Irvine. So that's held in March
nice.
at the Armory in Manchester.
Okay.
So definitely, there's something for everyone, right? Too.
Yeah.
We have events across the state. The important things, they're fun. They're a way to connect with other people, and they're most importantly, they're a way to give back to the community in such a meaningful way.
Yeah.
So what's better than having fun and giving back to the community?
Exactly,
And
yeah.
there's so many opportunities. Catholic Charity website, just go to it. We have an events page right there. It lists everything you need to know with that.
One other thing I thought of as we're speaking, just for my own curiosity. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming people can donate to these organizations individually, but they can also donate to Catholic Charities?
Yes, that is what it's a great question, given we do a lot. Yeah, so they can give to Catholic Charities, and those will support our various programs.
So you divide it up.
We divide it up, make sure it's being well used. Approximately 92 cents of every dollar does go back into our programs, which is pretty impactful compared to other nonprofits.
Sure.
But yeah, if someone has an affinity for New Generation or Liberty House, they have their own websites too. You can go and give there as well. You can also make a gift through Catholic Charities and designate it. That's fine too.
Okay.
We know there are many different causes that people are passionate about. They may be passionate about some more than others, and that's totally fine.
Sure.
We'll make sure that whatever their gift is put to good use to what matters to them most at the end of the day.
Okay, great.
And I will say that every gift stays in New Hampshire. And supports people here locally. So that's really an important thing.
Yeah,
we make sure that the funds are used the best way possible. And the impact is created because of that.
That's great. And before I get to my few final questions, is there anything else that you would like listeners to know about Catholic Charities New Hampshire?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'd go back to something I touched on earlier. And that's if someone is listening, or they know someone who's going through a difficult time, or they're going through a difficult time themselves, whether it's getting by financially, facing emotional mental health challenges, kind of unsure of housing, we're here to help them. I want them to know they're not alone, and they can always call us to help. Our commitment is to either help them directly or point them in the right direction where they get the assistance they need. I'll also stress on, again, we serve anyone of all backgrounds and all ages. And that's, no one should ever hesitate to reach out for help. Yes, we're Catholic Charities, but that means that we're here to serve everyone.
Yeah.
And that's so important. So our website is cc-nh.org. We made it easy. There's a get help button at the top. Just reach it out. Anything's anonymous, and they'll come in and we'll work with folks to get the help they need.
That's great.
And I mentioned the other. I have to mention it. The other side of that is the work that we do is made possible through volunteers and through donors. So if anyone's in a position to give, New Hampshire's a very generous state. We have so many amazing people here, amazing nonprofits. My advice is to always support the causes that truly matter to you.
Sure.
There's a lot of great organizations out there, but if our mission resonates with you, the work we touched on resonates with you, I always encourage you to reach out. And there's an opportunity to really not only make a difference, but make an impact.
All right. And so the questions that I ask everybody, the first is, can you share a story of someone whose life has been transformed by your work?
I'm actually going to share a story of someone I met yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And this is a really cool story. This is an individual. So obviously I oversee marketing. My role is to share our mission.
Yeah.
It's the best job. A lot of people say I have the best job ever, but this is really the best job. I wake up so happy that I'm in a position to be able to share our mission, to reach people who need help, but also reach the people who help make these programs possible. So I love as much as possible to get out there and meet with clients and really tell their story, because there's always opportunity for that. Yesterday, we had the opportunity to meet an inspiring woman through our Caregivers program. She receives food deliveries. She receives rides to medical appointments. So we went there to tell her story about caregivers. So we sat down with her, and she said, "Oh, hey, is the Art Place program still around?" And I said, "Yeah. Why?" She said, "When I was 16 and pregnant, I had no support. My parents kicked me out of the house. Art Place helped me give birth to my son, to build a foundation for my son, and to have 2 other children there." So we went in thinking this was somebody who's just recently been assisted by us. Turns out she's been assisted by us for over 35 years. So Catholic Charities has been an amazing part of her life for the 35 years plus. It was really cool to hear that. So we helped her. I mean, imagine being 16, kicked out of your house.
Yeah.
It was a different world back then, right?
Yeah.
Alone, afraid. She picked the phone up. Our Place was there to help her. She says, "Our Place was my home," she basically said.
Yeah.
So it was really awesome to hear that
Yeah.
because of the many different programs that we have. There's so much opportunity to touch someone in a lifetime. And for her, she had her son, she had 2 additional kids, she had a normal life, she ran marathons, and then it was one day, everything changed. She had a stroke. And she was disabled. She couldn't walk. She couldn't do things most of us take for granted.
Sure.
Her life basically fell apart. Her marriage fell apart. Her kids had moved out. They got to the age where they moved out. So she was living alone. She had no one to count on. She picked the phone up again. She called caregivers. She said, she doesn't know what life would be like if she didn't have caregivers. She gets food on a monthly basis. She gets volunteers that show up at her door and take her places. She says, nobody shows up at my door anymore. And just to hear that from her, how authentic it was. She said, every time a volunteer shows up and gives me a ride, I feel like a princess.
Oh,
and I said, I hear things like this all the time.
Yeah.
But that alone really is a testament to how incredible this organization is. These are real people like us that have fallen on circumstances. Again, they didn't sign up for it.
Right.
They didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And life has thrown them some severe curveballs.
Yeah.
And they're in a position that they need help, and we're able to respond to that. I'll cheat and share another story.
Sure.
If that's okay.
I love it.
I have plenty of stories, but I won't keep you here for 5 hours.
Okay.
Misty is another one. This is one of those she's a great example of how Catholic Charities has touched her lives through different ages of her life. Her work with Catholic Charities started when she was 15. Like the woman I just mentioned, she was pregnant. She was in an abusive relationship. She had no one to turn to, no support system. She picked up the phone. She also called Our Place, and they helped her navigate her pregnancy for her son, prepare for the birth of her son, and connected her with resources to make sure that she was able to build that foundation again with her son. And it really set the foundation for her in a stable future, to have a stable future. So she earned her GED through that support. She became a licensed nursing assistant, and she started building a stable life for her family. She got married. Years later, her husband was facing deportation. So they reached out to our Immigration Legal Services and helped keep her family together and her husband here. More than 20 years after that, something incredible happened. And that is she returned to the place where she trained to become a nurse. And that is one of our skilled nursing facilities in Manchester, where she still works today. Through a scholarship program we had funded by donors, she became a licensed practical nurse. She was an LNA she was an LNA, she became an LPN. That's a huge jump, not only from a career standpoint, but also quality of life, because the salary goes up. So she gets paid more. She gets, she can get by a little bit more easily. And that was all through the support of donors. Today, she's still working there. She is a nurse, and she works alongside one of her daughters. So it really shows how everything kind of comes full circle.
Yeah.
She went from needing help to the one today who's helping others within our nursing home. So it's a really cool inspiring story, but shows you how we walk alongside people on their journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's never a straight road. There's always barriers in the road.
Yeah.
And it's our goal to help people and meet them where they're at. And Misty is just a inspiring woman, and she really shows the long-term impact that our programs can have on someone.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Well, I think you sharing that highlights not only, as you've talked about, how many people you're helping, but individuals that you're helping in multiple ways throughout their life.
And that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
Especially in today's day and age, we have multiple challenges that people face, right?
Yeah.
It could be if you're not able to afford basic needs, that brings emotional pain. If you're socially isolated, that brings mental health challenges, right? So we're in a position where we can help people through different ways, and it's really powerful. It's one of the powerful things being such a complex organization. We do so much.
Right.
We have the ability to help people in so many different ways. And that's really a powerful thing. That's why I love Catholic Charities, because they do that. Again, people hear our name. They don't know what we do, though.
Right.
They may not know the depth of what we do.
Right.
We're here to help people.
Well, that's why I'm glad we're doing this episode, to let people know all that you're doing, because when I sat down with Maddie and she told me that she worked for you, and she brought up Catholic Charities, I said, well, I've heard of them, but I really don't know what they do. So this is great.
And you're definitely the majority there. We hear a lot of that from people, and it's our job to get our word out, to tell our mission, to share these stories and really help people understand that we're here to help people facing many challenges. These are challenges that are impacting New Hampshire just overall, right? So we're here to provide a helping hand for folks.
Yeah,
it's pretty powerful work. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've already covered so many that fall under Catholic Charities, but are there any other nonprofits or individuals that you would recommend we have on as a future guest?
Well, I may be biased.
Sure.
But I would definitely, Catholic Charities is kind of as you probably know, is probably a bunch of nonprofits under our big umbrella. So I would absolutely encourage one of them, because they each have their own distinct mission and impact.
Well, that's the thing. As you're going through it, I'm like, these could each be their own episode.
So absolutely, a program like Liberty House, doing tremendous work there. New Generation, I mentioned, their executive director is someone who lived the program, has a great story. And then the food bank obviously does great work too as well. And they're all tackling different issues. Right. We can sit here for hours and talk about truly the extent of the work that Catholic Charities does. But these programs of ours are just tremendous. And I think like Catholic Charities, people don't know what they do. And I think there's an opportunity to really connect people to those programs.
Yeah. And the final question is, what does kindness mean to you? And can you share an example of kindness that you've either experienced or witnessed?
So kindness to me is really showing up for someone when they don't expect anyone to. It's not about big gestures. It's not about being in the spotlight. It's the small things, right? And oftentimes that being present, listening, treating someone with dignity when they're going through something difficult. I saw an example yesterday.
Okay.
Or I heard an example yesterday.
Sure.
The client I mentioned, the woman we met with, again, she lives alone. She had a stroke. She is not someone that she lives on a fixed income, so not a lot of money, but she's able to get by. She had mentioned that her volunteers, as I kind of touched on, they mean the world to her. They show up at her door. They help her get to medical appointments that she needs, therapy appointments, grocery store, whatever she needs. She can't really pay them back. She can pay them back in words, but there are small actions that she has. She mentioned a couple of drivers may have one of their kids that have tagged along with them.
Sure.
So she said, I always go to the dollar store when I can and pick out something for the kids of the volunteers. All right. This is someone who has lived a life. We mentioned curveballs being thrown at you.
Yeah.
So many, just one after the other with her. She's had every reason to feel defeated in life, but her outlook, her optimism is great. These small gestures to say thank you, to give a child a little stuffy, where it may be, to make that child smile. because the volunteers make this woman smile, and she's just giving back in a way that is just so kind. And that's a great example of kindness. Even those who are experiencing hardship, they want to give back too.
Yeah.
And those kind gestures is really great.
That is a great example. The fact of these people have had such an impact on her life. She wants to give back to them in whatever way she's able to. I think that's amazing. Yeah.
And just the positive outlook she brings is awesome.
Yeah, having that positivity, even though she has faced hard times and all of that.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here today and for sharing all of this great information. I've learned a lot. Hopefully listeners have learned a lot, and hopefully they'll check out Catholic Charities as a whole, but also some of these other organizations. So.
Yes, absolutely. Erin, a pleasure. Again, love the podcast. I love how you bring together so many people and organizations here in New Hampshire that are doing good. We're happy to be part of this. And just keep doing the great work you're doing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode and learning more about Catholic Charities New Hampshire and all the incredible work they are doing for the people of the state of New Hampshire. I hope that you will check them out, check out some of the organizations that are under them, think about volunteering, donating if you are able to. Yeah, just get involved in your community and help to give back. And at this point, hopefully you know what to do if you haven't already. Follow Dose of Good Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Subscribe on YouTube. And also subscribe where you listen to podcasts. Leave a rating or a review, as that helps the podcast to get shared more, get known. Also, just share these episodes so that more people can have a dose of good in their day. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we can reach as many people as possible to brighten their day a little bit, restore their faith in humanity, and teach them about the good that is going on behind the scenes. So until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.